Come at you with that nonsense. Welcome to Movie the Podcast. That's right, Movie the Podcast. We're here in a two-man banger because none of us. There's a miscommunication on.
Well, even if we were recording on Sundays, I don't feel like Alec would have been with because
I don't know anymore. But like, here we are, and it's me and TJ, the real ones.
Here we are once again, totally dependent. I don't know how the rest of that song is.
Behind These Hazel Eyes. We're doing Behind These Hazel Eyes. Is that
the title of that song? Oh, shit.
Here I am once again. I'm gone into secrets. Maybe. I don't know.
Hell yeah. There you go. All right.
Yeah, fucking Kelly Clarkson up in this bitch. I bet Kelly Clarkson likes her job.
Do you think?
Just eating and singing all day.
She eats and sings? Is that what she does?
That's what it looks like. If you look at it from over here, it's like what the two things she's out here doing.
How have we not ever reviewed from Justin to Kelly with Love?
Get that fucking Guarini up in here? Is that
was like, remember, you know how we always talk about like normie bad movies?
Oh my god.
That was like the normie bad movie punchline. Dude, if your movie was a decade.
Yeah, if your movie was inspired by basically Star Search, like what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like from Justin to Kelly, did like Ruben Studdard show up in that bitch? Like what is happening?
If I remember correctly, that was like S1 of American Idol.
Oh, S1 was Kelly Clarkson and Justin Guarini. That is correct.
Yeah,
but the movie didn't come out till at least like season 2, and then you got Ruben and Clay. And after that, I don't know who won after that. Like that's it. Like that's as far as my knowledge goes.
I just remember the Vote for Sanjaya campaign.
Remember that? Sanjaya. Yeah, no, I listen to Stern. I'm here for it. But anyway,
not anymore. Talk about comedy that does not age well.
Nah.
Go back and listen to some of those bits. You're like,
Anywho, we're here. It's still Capril, but we watched 4 movies. It's one of those whack-ass months that had extra days in it, I guess.
Yeah.
So
also, Alec's not here. I don't know what next. Do you remember what next month is? We'll have to text him real quick.
May?
And ask him.
No. It's Remade 2, The Revenge or whatever.
Oh, so we got to do remakes.
We're doing remakes again. I'm pretty confident. I think it was Remade 2, which is even funnier that we're bringing the month back.
Remade 2 remix.
Yeah, it's a brilliant. He nailed it with that one. I'm not gonna. He's good with the months, but that's a.
God, do you have a remake off the dome?
That's an S tier off the dome.
Yeah. Do you have any ideas of what you're gonna pick?
Something that's been done before.
We can bullshit more than normal because there's only half.
Yeah, fuck it. No, it's just you know what, guys. Rare behind the scenes. I'm just gonna look up remade movies, and I'm gonna rattle off some.
I think I have one that I'm gonna pick.
What are you gonna go and run with? Well, I know what I'm gonna do. I got it right off the jump. Jake Gyllenhaal's Roadhouse, because I want to watch it.
Oh, very popular.
And it's a remake.
I thought you already watched it. You didn't watch it?
No, me and Liz were supposed to watch. We watched the old one to prepare us.
Oh, that's right.
This one, but we haven't seen it yet. So, boom. I mean, but you got like Aladdin. That movie sucks. You got The Thing.
I don't watch any of those Disney remakes.
I think The Thing
doesn't count. Doesn't count. It's a prequel. It's still not very good. I've seen it.
Like
it's bad.
True Grit. Any of the Planet of the Apes movies.
True Grit. True Grit would be like a good movie to watch.
Right. You got the Friday the 13th one. You got the Nightmare. You got Halloween.
Ooh, I think you just picked mine. I think we're going to have to watch the, what's his name? I always forget his name. Rorschach. What's that guy's name?
He's got a three-name banger, Jackie Earle Haley.
We might have to watch the Jackie Earle Haley Nightmare. Yeah, I feel like we've brought that movie up a couple of times. We all like Jackie Earle Haley. Yeah, I might have to pick that.
I mean, Magnificent Seven, Karate Kid, Point Break sucks. The Longest Yard we already did.
The Longest Yard was good.
Longest Yard was a lot of fun.
Shockingly good. Yeah.
I know we did The Departed, but The Departed's a remake.
No, we didn't do The Departed, did we?
I thought we did do The Departed. Or did we actually do Infernal Affairs?
We did Infernal Affairs,
didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's these are all there's.
Oh God, we could pick I think Sean brought it up last time we did the show, but we could do that goddamn terrible Spike Lee Old Boy remake.
The one I like.
You like that movie? Oh my God.
I liked it. I don't like it more than the original Old Boy, but I liked it.
Oh man, it's bad. All right.
There's so many horror movies that get me, like Psycho, Chainsaw, Hellraiser.
Have you ever seen the Psycho remake? It's like a shot-for-shot remake. It's so fucking stupid.
What's that? Was it funny things, funny people, funny games? Funny games.
Oh God, you want to make Alex?
I don't want to watch
quit the show.
No, I don't want to watch it. I'm just saying
that's another shot-for-shot
remake, right?
But the even weirder part about the Funny Games shot-for-shot remake, same director. So he just remade the same fucking movie in English because the original's in German.
Do you count like all the Zack Snyder cuts as remakes?
No. I wonder if he does. I'm also shocked at the level of, maybe if the rest of us were here, the level of restraint that we haven't been forced to watch goddamn Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver.
Oh, I need to watch that though. I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch that analog.
We're gonna watch it on the show. Why bother?
I know, but because I'm vested in the storyline.
Oh God. All right. I'm dying. I'm sorry guys. I have a cold. What did you watch?
You owe them nothing.
What did you watch over the last 2 weeks, Gogs? I think one of the things is tabled, but
one of the things tabled.
But you go ahead.
Which is funny because it's just the two of us.
Still tabled.
I watched a shit ton of C-Lab, so I can't not love. I think I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's my favorite Adult Swim show. Like I love Aqua Teen, and like Space Ghost is fun. And
I feel like those cartoons are a very fun bedrock to our friendship.
Yeah,
like all the Adult Swim stuff, the early Adult Swim stuff especially.
Like I love Archer and Frisky Dingo a lot, but you're not getting either of those shows without C-Lab. So C-Lab is like, I don't know, C-Lab's so much
amazing.
Fun. Like the Alvis episode just gets me every goddamn time. It's the holiest man to ever slap iron.
And the whole like origin of that story is hilarious too. How
oh my God, they were just fired.
They were just guys in the fucking. They basically just had access to the old Hanna-Barbera like archives, and they just like pieced it together.
Well, they got fired and they stole all that stuff when they left, and then they cobbled it together, and then they sold it back to them. It was fucking hilarious. Anyway. Love that. The other movie I watched, I thought I watched more things, but I can't pull up my watch history on Max, which is weird to me. But I watched, Blown Away. I watched,
the fucking bomb movie?
The bomb movie, the one about the IRA. But remember when the IRA was a thing? Like in the 90s?
I mean, it's still a thing.
No, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like, that was like what, like white people in America were scared of.
For whatever reason, that you're right. That was like a weird, like, touchstone point where people were like worried about the IRA. It was like the mid to
late 90s. There was a couple of movies about the IRA, like coming to America. And it was like, people were like,
we watched that movie on the show that was kind of divisive. I still thought it was pretty decent. That 73, that was all about the IRA.
That was actually in Northern Ireland. Yeah. But like, so, Tommy Lee Jones, the Big Lebowski, or Jeff Lebowski.
Pause real quick. Cause I saw this and I was like, please be AI, and it's not. They're fucking dragging out Jeff Bridges again to make another Tron fucking movie. Why?
No one's asking for it.
Nobody wants these fucking.
Who asked
Tron
for the last
movies.
one?
It was terrible. The only thing good about that last Tron movie was Olivia Wilde looking. She looked like fucking Mirror's
Edge. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, she looked great. Anyway.
Sorry. But yeah.
You said Jeff Bridges. I just saw these images. I was like, oh God.
Dude, a young Jeff Bridges, like OG Tron Jeff Bridges looking ass, like. Now there's a couple of wild inconsistencies with that movie. First of all, I thought that movie was a lot less corny than it turns out to be, because it's corny. I also had this distinct, and I think it's that, what do they call it? The Mandela effect? Mandela effect?
Mandela effect.
I could have sworn.
Mandela is that design that
like the Dreamcatcher shit. Yeah. So anywho, if you had asked me what's the soundtrack to Blown Away, I would have said Joshua Tree or At-Chung Baby. I forget which U2 album.
Wait, what's it called? At-Chung Baby?
Is it At-Chung? At-Chung? How you say it? How you say the words?
Achtung Baby. It's German.
Achtung Baby, fine. Oh, they're Irish.
Achtung.
Achtung. Well, I don't know why.
Baby. Action, baby.
I don't know why some Patty would be saying it like that, but here we are. So now, I could have sworn in like the opening salvo of that movie, Tommy Lee Jones goes to a swap meet and buys a U2 tape, and that's the whole soundtrack. You get 1.5 U2 songs the whole time.
Does he buy the U2 tape?
He does. He does. But I could have sworn that it was literally the whole soundtrack was diegetic of him listening to it. But it's not. There's a bunch of other.
So what's the plot? So who's in the IRA?
Tommy Lee Jones. So Tommy Lee Jones. Here's the plot from 1994's Blown Away. Jeff Bridges is a hotshot bomb disposal fella for the Boston PD, right? And it opens up with him defusing a bomb. Like, it's like Speed, but instead of like a bus, this woman has to keep typing. Otherwise the thing's going to blow up. And he like slides under the desk and cuts out the C4 and yada yada, right? So he's over here. He's like a lieutenant in the fucking, so this is critical for us to get through this. So I need to make this a point. He is a lieutenant in the Boston Police Department's bomb disposal unit. Okay? Something that one would think would come with at least one, maybe two background checks. Maybe. Right?
Right.
Tommy Lee Jones is in an Irish castle prison and then turns a toilet into a bazooka.
An Irish castle prison?
That's 100% correct. Irish castle prison. Turns a toilet into a bazooka, blows a hole out a castle wall, and the next thing you know, he's in America, right? Now, he's in America, and he just happens to be drinking at some bar, and he looks up at the TV, and there's Jimmy Dove, that's Jeff Bridges' character, saving the day. And he's like, oh, that's Liam McShinnery or some shit.
Does he talk with like a ridiculous accent?
Yes. He leans into it very hard.
I gotta see this movie.
So then, you've never seen this movie?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, well, I mean,
I've heard about it.
I've never, for Blown Away. So then
the movie's
you
like
find
30 years old, so.
So then it becomes this cat and mouse game where he's setting bombs up all over Boston, but he's doing it specifically to kill the other members of the bomb squad to lure Jeff Bridges out into
You're selling me on it. I like the premise.
Forrest Whitaker's in this bitch.
Of course he is.
So then you find out that the reason Tommy Lee Jones is hunting Jeff Bridges is because Jeff Bridges was in the IRA and a bombing went wrong and it led to people dying. It led to Tommy Lee Jones' sister dying, Tommy Lee Jones getting locked up into the castle prison, and he escapes, right? Jeff Bridges escapes.
I love castle prison.
How the fuck does Jeff Bridges not only get into the Boston Police Department, but advance all the way up to lieutenant and head of the bomb squad, and no one's ever gone, you know what this guy do? His name was Liam like McFinnery or some shit, and he gets into the Boston PD with a fake name.
I mean, he is in Boston though. It's all Irish, you know.
But he went by Jimmy Dove. He didn't even come Lieutenant Liam Finnery. Like, he is James Dove. He faked his name. He faked his history and got accepted and advanced through the Boston PD.
I mean, also, to be fair, the police, you know what I mean? The police,
they'll take anybody, right?
Yeah, they'll take anybody. They're desperate for people, and, you know.
Well, it was.
Police aren't the best bookkeepers in the world. So.
Also, Lloyd Bridges is in the film. And,
oh, hell yeah.
So you can see both Bridges in there.
Who is?
No, both Bridges.
That's his father, isn't it?
That's his father. That's correct. Yeah. So, Lloyd Bridges, he's walking out his Irish accent. It's a good time, but the movie's cornball. There's some good explosions in it. I think the explosion at the end of Blown Away is one of those ones that's like kind of like talked about in like the annals of like, it's like up there with movie the explosion at the end of history. Die Hard 2, like when the plane explodes in Die Hard 2, like the boat that explodes at the end of fucking Blown Away is like. But anyway, it also gives. Like
I said, I really need to see it. You're selling it pretty hard, I gotta say.
Well, I'm thinking about watching the Jeff Bridges Explosion 2-pack and now watching Arlington Road.
I got that. I was about to bring up that movie because for some reason I thought they were like the same movie. Aren't they both about bomb making.
They're both about terrorists and bombs. But this was another hot button issue, which now it's back actually because everything from the 90s is back again. So maybe the IRA is coming back. Arlington Road was all about like the militia movement, like it was sort of a direct product of the Oklahoma City bombings and that sort of fear of nationalist, homegrown, anti-government terrorists.
Right.
And that's Tim Robbins' role in that movie. In that movie, he's scary as fuck, if I remember correctly. That movie scared the ever-living shit out of me. But anyway, so I watched that, and then we might as well. Do you want to talk about what else you watched, or should we talk about Late Night with the Devil?
We can talk about Late Night with the Devil now. I don't usually bring up movies that I talk about on the other show that I do with Chris called the Dead Air Horror Review Show. Feel free to listen to that if you don't already. But I want to talk about this movie because I think Gogs and I have been talking about this movie for a while, Analog, and it was something I was really looking forward to, and I did not like it at all. I felt like it's the worst kind of disappointment because I think there's like a lot to like in the movie. It's just executed so clumsily that like it just annihilates any interest I had in the movie. Like I felt like I wanted to like it so bad and they just kept committing all these like unforced errors. Like my biggest problem with the film is it opens up and it's supposed to be a documentary, right? It's doing the whole
right.
This is a documentary, like you're watching a documentary on like HBO Max or Netflix, and they frame it like that. And I'm like, okay, I'm cool. I'm in. Cause I knew coming in it's about a TV show. So I thought that it was going to be the exact like broadcast of the television show.
Well, that's what they say it's going to be.
Well, like the broadcast of the TV show, but then maybe with like interstitials, like interviews with people, like in a real documentary. But the problem is they started off like this, but then they immediately like lose interest in doing that. And then nothing looks like that. They don't really talk like they do in the 70s. It doesn't look particularly like in the 70s. They cut to this background footage that they never would have had back then. And it's like the audio is perfect and they don't like, there's these.
But they claim it's behind the scenes.
Right. There's these really private conversations that like they would be like, hey, give me like a hey back off or hey you can't film, you know what I mean? Like
they don't you like a hot mic where you don't even see them.
Right, exactly. They don't address it at all. It almost feels like the documentary aspect was something they tacked on later. Because if they didn't, they did not care about keeping the fucking like the truth of this film because they abscond with the premise immediately and it really took me out of the movie. Like.
Well, I mean, really shout out to Ironsides as the narrator, though.
Michael Ironsides as the narrator was very cool.
I mean, so I wanted to like the movie, and I honestly was with it I was there with it for the first 2 acts. Like, I was even forgiving them, like, the bad special effects. Right. Like, you can tell the movie is made on, like, a shoestring budget, right?
One thing weird about the movie is it was done on a shoestring budget, but there's, like, 800 production houses that were involved in this movie.
Like I've
never seen a movie like this.
It was like 15. Like it was like, and it was all those like cornball. Like
I thought it was a fucking joke. Yeah, it like kept going.
It just kept happening.
It was like an SNL bit. It was like Jesus Christ.
But it was like Dirty Turtle Productions, and then and then it was just like a turtle jacking off, and then it flashes to like an island getting hit by like a wave. It's like.
Bro, why have we not started Dirty Turtle Productions? Oh my God, that's amazing.
So I was with that movie because shout out like David Dastmalchian, and I had to look up his name.
He's great.
He's fucking great, and he's good in it. Like he's good in this movie. And the movie has like an interesting premise. They just fumble the ending so hard. Like the ending, like. I know you checked out early. Like,
I still watched the whole movie. I mean, I still watched the whole thing, but
I was like with it till the third act. I was like, come on, guys, just bring it on home. And the way they did it was just not good. Like,
and again, to my point, there's no way you can watch any of that stuff at the end and be like, this is still a documentary, because you're witnessing like his hallucinations and all this other crap. You're in his head.
It's like Jacob's Ladder. Like there's right. no like, and I didn't think about that until you brought it up. I was like, yeah, like at the end, like how would you even know he's like melting into his own brain? You would just see him in the chair just shaking. Like you wouldn't see. Yeah, but him like sacrificing his wife to cultists.
Somebody. There's a lot of people that really like this movie. And it's fine, whatever. But like, I will, like, somebody was in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in was telling me that like, I shouldn't, this criticism is hilarious to me. I shouldn't criticize the movie because it's found footage or whatever, because they couldn't, if for the story they wanted to tell, they couldn't show what you just said. You couldn't show that if it was actual found footage. Like, okay, well, they picked it to be found footage, not me.
Right, they don't make it a found footage movie.
What the fuck do you mean I can criticize that? It was a choice they made that was the wrong choice. Of course I can criticize that. That's so absurd. It's not like this is part of a fucking contest where it's like, you gotta make found footage. Like, they picked and the other thing is, if you just made it a regular movie, then a lot of my issues are gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, but they decided not to do it, and that's fine.
And the other thing is, like, I like what's his name, Dave, however you say his name. I like him a lot, but I felt like his character. I was waiting for like another step with his character because he's kind of flat. Like, I think he does a good job.
I don't know about that. Like, I thought his character. I thought the whole thing about him like being number 2 forever and like him being like beat down by that. And like going through like
in exposition, dude. But I'm saying like in practice, like they don't do enough. And I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm saying the writing. Again, all the things you're talking about are things they explicitly told you. I'm saying like you don't get anything from his performance to sell those things. And in fact, like I said, they have to tell you in the beginning of the movie. That was another problem I had with the intro to the film. They tell you everything you need to know. Or they tell you everything that you're going to learn in the movie. Wouldn't it have been better if they didn't tell you about the fucking wife and the fucking Bohemian Grove cult and all that shit in the beginning? Yeah. It wouldn't have been cooler to see later on in the movie and then be like, oh, wow, he sold his wife's soul to be number 2 or whatever. Like, that's interesting. I don't know, man. It's just such a fumble. It's such a letdown because I was legitimately looking forward to this one for a while. Like, this was one of my top.
There's a lot of folks on like social media that were talking it up. I was like, oh, okay. They're like the best movie of 2023 that no one saw. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, it's on Shudder. All right, let's go. And nope. But that's everything I watched other than the movie we watched. Of course.
Right. What did I watch? Oh, I watched another movie I was really looking forward to. I watched Rose Glass's follow-up to St. Maud, Love Lies Bleeding.
Wow.
Absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. It's fucking weird. It's super weird. I was a little apprehensive because like I liked St. Maud so much and I was a little disappointed that, somebody that was so talented as a horror director was going to go to a different genre. But, my fears were, brushed aside because this movie has like a lot of weird body horror shit in it. Okay. And like it is like a true romance, like on steroids, pun intended. Like this movie is first of all, it takes place in the 90s, which I love already. This is a very sweaty, like ugly people movie. Like everybody is kind of fucked up in this movie, like, which I thought was great. Like everyone is kind of poor, sweaty, and gross. Which I really love as an aesthetic. It's fucking wild. Like it goes in places that you don't expect. And like Ed Harris is really fucking good in it. Kristen Stewart's really good in it. That chick that, the other, Kathy O'Brien, I think is her name, or she's like the muscly girl that Kristen Stewart falls in love with. She's great. She was in, Ant-Man 3. She was like also, if they ever make a Baldur's Gate movie, there's your Karlach. Like
there's Karlach right there.
Perfect Karlach. She's great. I loved the movie. I thought the movie was awesome. It's got a weird ass Takashi Miike-esque ending. Like it really does. Like the ending is fucking insane, but I loved it. And I don't know, man. Like I love unique, weird ass movies, and this is about as unique and weird ass as it gets. And just the fact that it's like it's funny to say this in, the year of our Lord 2024, but like it's a lesbian romance story that's not played up for like kind of like as titillation or whatever. I mean, it is very like sexual, but I feel like I never felt like it was. I guess what I'm trying to say is it wasn't like Bound. You know what I mean? It's not a lesbian love movie that's like for the male gaze. Like this is very like, I don't know, man. Again, a very sweaty, intense film that's not like, hey, these two hot chicks are making out. It's these two hot chicks that are like incredibly fucked up and like kind of like they ugly them up both pretty good in this movie. And I don't know, man. I thought it was great. I thought it was really, really unique, really weird.
It was called Rose Colored Glasses?
No. Rose Glass is the director. She directed Saint Maud.
Okay, what's that?
Which is a fantastic movie. It's called Love Lies Bleeding is the name of this movie. And it's great. I highly recommend it. Dave Franco was in it, and like he plays a scumbag, which is kind of weird. Even though I think in real life he's not great, or at least I know his brother isn't great.
Wait, what's the one? What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
What's the movie that the two girls go cross country like stealing shit? I want to say it was actually
Thelma and Louise.
Nope, it's new. Yeah, I want to say it was like a
Runaway,
a Coen movie.
Yeah, Runaway Girls or something like that, or like something like that. Drive Away Girls.
Drive Away Girls. I think you're correct. I think that's what it's called. Maybe Joel produced it.
No, Joe Coen wrote it and I think directed it. I haven't watched that yet. I've heard mixed things.
All right, then.
It's funny, whenever the Coens like split up, like it's never as good as when they're together. I think it was Joel, whoever did Hamlet last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago. I really liked that. I don't know if I ever talked about that on the show. I thought that was really good.
Love Lies Bleeding, you're into.
Love Lies Bleeding, clumsy title notwithstanding, is very good, and I liked it a lot. I would be interested to hear your thoughts on it, because it definitely goes off into like crazy town, and it might take you out of the movie
stuff.
Yeah, but it might take you out of the movie. Like it's.
Oh, well, you're saying like Takashi Miike levels of crazy.
The ending of this movie is on par. The ending of this movie is on par with the ending of like Dead or Alive. Like it's that insane. It's fucking nuts. It's absolutely insane. I loved it. I loved how weird it got. Like I love the fact that like, the one girl is a bodybuilder and like it literally like it's weird. And I'd love to, I'll never get the chance to actually interview Rose Glass, but I would love to ask her because in a weird way, like this reminded me of Shinya Tsukamoto's Tetsuo 2 and Tokyo Fist, because he has this weird way of shooting like muscles and like making it like turning like how body horror in general is about like metamorphosis, right? Like you've seen enough body horror to know that's like the
whole point, yeah.
Athletic metamorphosis as body horror is kind of where they're going, and it's wild to see. And I've never seen another filmmaker do it. So I'd love to know if she was influenced by him at all, because it feels very similar.
Just hit her up on X. What's she doing? She ain't doing nothing.
I'm sure she's hopefully making another movie, because
I'll hit her up on X.
I'm a big fan of her work. I didn't like this as much as I liked Saint Maud, but Saint Maud I thought was a fucking masterpiece. This is very, very good though. This was a treat, and I was very happy to watch it. It surpassed my expectations. So there you go. So yeah, that's all I watched. I think.
Nice.
I feel like I watched something else, but I don't remember. It's tough when we take like a week off. Sometimes I forget stuff.
Yeah,
I watched the first episode of Devs. You ever watch that?
Nope.
It's Alex Garland's TV show. It's about like this evil tech company.
Okay. What's it on?
First episode's really good. It was originally on FX, but I mean, I watched it on Hulu.
Right on.
But first episode's very good. I haven't, that's all I got through, but, I mean, it's Alex Garland.
I still need to watch Fallout. Everybody keeps telling me how good it is.
Oh, you do. Yeah. Fallout's really good. It's just, it's like
still shocked by that.
So am I, but you're going to love it. It's excellent. It's very, very good. And like, despite everything, like I would have never expected that show to be any good. When they announced it, I was like, this show's going to suck. There's no way this show's going to be any good.
Here we are.
But it's great. I highly recommend it. You got to. I'm surprised you haven't watched it yet. Watch an episode. Watch an episode tonight.
Yeah, I'll just crank one out and watch it.
It's not like it's a very likable show. I feel like it is very well made, and I feel like non-Fallout fans will like the show.
Okay, I mean she liked the architecture in Fallout when she would watch me play and just watch these ruins.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because I feel like the hardest thing to get right in almost any video game adaptation is the tone. And I mean, like Fallout especially is a game where it's like
a goofy tone.
Well, it is, and then it's serious, and then there's horror elements to it, and like they do it. They hit all the marks. Like it's funny, it's kind of absurdist, it's a critique on capitalism, it's got horror elements, like it's got everything. It's great. I don't know how they pulled it off. It's so funny to me that Christopher Nolan and his wife have made some of the best TV, some of the worst TV. And it's just like they keep churning stuff out, but like, you know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's horrible. Cause like they make Westworld season 1, which is a fucking masterpiece. Then they make the rest of Westworld, which is awful.
Hold on. Did I know that Christopher Nolan was attached to Fallout?
I don't know, but
Batman Christopher Nolan, like Tenet Christopher Nolan, that guy?
No, his brother. Did I say Christopher?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's his brother. What's his brother's name?
Fucking Steve?
It's something Nolan. His brother wrote Westworld, and he wrote Memento. I can't think of his fucking name.
Jonathan Nolan?
Jonathan Nolan, that's it.
Yeah.
Jonathan Nolan and his wife, Joy something or other.
He looks like
and they also
0.0.
They also made one of the worst movies I've ever seen, that Reminiscence with Hugh Jackman. Oh my god, that was bad. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they made fucking like I said, Westworld season 1 incredible. Westworld, the rest of it dog shit. Like this fantastic. Like I can't wait for season 2. I'm very excited, especially where they leave off season 1. It's just like oh boy.
How many episodes are we talking about?
8 episodes.
Oh, I can power through that.
Yeah, it's not long. Yeah, I if you don't like it, I'll be shocked.
I like a Walton Goggins.
Especially, you're a big Fallout fan, so.
I am.
I think you'll like it a lot. All right, what did we watch this week for the show, guys?
We watched what is, I think I've said before, and I will continue to say it through this episode, my favorite Quentin Tarantino film. We watched.
Yeah, if you guys are tuning in to listen to us shit on a movie, this is not the episode for you.
No, I say that, my guy. We watched Jackie Brown.
Also, real quick, you've read the book, right? I feel like
I read Rum Punch.
Did you read it? So reading, I never read it, but reading the Wikipedia, it seems pretty close, except they changed.
It's pretty different. The ending is the book is. Jackie's character doesn't exist in the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, it's more about like Lewis's character really than anything else.
Really? Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't get that from the plot.
If I remember correctly, like didn't have like Rum Punch was similar. It's more like Ordell Roby's character was like
it took place in Florida and not in California. Yeah. Oh, well, apparently Ordell Roby is in another. He's another, what's that guy's name? Elmore Leonard?
Oh, yeah.
He's in other Elmore Leonard books, that character.
I mean, I'm trying to remember the plot of Rum Punch. I just remember it was not, I read it expecting it to be Jackie Brown. It was different. But this movie, not only is it, I think, my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie, and I've watched other ones recently, so it's not just recency bias, but sure. I think this might be my favorite Sam Jackson performance.
He's so good in this movie, dude.
Ever done. And the man has done the man's done brilliant work across the board, but specifically with Quentin Tarantino, he has done amazing things with Quentin Tarantino. And of all of those things he's done with Quentin Tarantino, this is his best
Well, I think I agree, but also I think like I mean, I don't know. I'd have to like, I don't know if the numbers would pan out, but it feels like he gets the most screen time in this movie.
He's more. It's like this and Hateful Eight are the ones where he's like the main character or one.
He's so good in Hateful Eight. I mean, he's really good in everything. Like he's one of those actors that's like, name a bad Sam Jackson performance. He's always trying.
Can't do it. Fucking Jurassic Park. Fucking Long Kiss Goodnight. Fucking. That's a movie we should watch for the show. That movie rules.
I do like that movie.
But anyway, so we watched Jackie Brown. Do you want me to rip through the plot of Jackie Brown? Like,
why not?
Okay, why not?
We got time.
I would suggest that anyone who hasn't seen Jackie Brown go watch it before I talk about it.
I would also, this is a very odd thing to say, but I believe, I could be wrong, but I think Jackie Brown is one of the weird movies that's like not available on Blu-ray. Cause, through the nefarious ways that I get the movies that we watch on a lot of times that we watch on the show, the only file I could find was a 720p rip of it. But I will say, this is one of the weird times. If you get to watch this movie, I would recommend you watch it on DVD or 720p or something of that equivalent. Hell, a VHS tape. Because I don't know about you guys, but didn't you get kind of a vibe from that lower, like the lower resolution? I felt like it worked with the movie. Like it gave it more of like a feel to it. I felt like, and also this movie made me feel like the 90s was 800 years ago.
Also, here's I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, hell yeah. You got a VHS copy.
My fucking VHS copy of Jackie Brown. Like, movies to go.
Did you watch it? Did you watch it on the Plex or did you watch it? You didn't watch it on the VHS, did you?
No, I watched it on Tubi.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was upset. It was on free on Tubi. Shout out Tubi. Big ups Tubi.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what do you remember what the resolution was of the Tubi version?
It was decent. It wasn't terrible. Yeah. Also, before we get any further, Pam Grier's Jackie Brown, and Pam Grier is a very attractive woman. And I'm not trying to reduce her down to just her look. She's an excellent actress too. She's
really good in this movie. Yeah,
she is tremendous in this movie, but she's like 42 and foxy as hell in this movie. Like she is.
Oh my God. 100%.
God bless. Anyway. So movie opens with this song that TJ and I were serenading each other to earlier. And I honestly, can I take a minute and be like a dork about this?
Go ahead.
Over the course of, and it's a tracking shot of just Pam Grier walking in her Crazy Clowns Airlines, stewardess apparel. But like even just in this scene of just her walking to this song and then like hurrying herself up and like somehow even in this scene, you already conveyed her position in life and like what's going on. Like you already know.
Agreed.
Not a word said, literally just a tracking shot of her through this song, getting through the airport to get to the gate and like hurrying up and having to get ready. I don't know how he did it. It's fucking brilliant.
He's brilliant. So, think about how many times that we talk about movies that either under-explain or over-explain. Like we were just talking about Late Night with the Devil, right? And I was telling you how I felt about the main character. Well, you just expressed like this movie in the span of 3 minutes has already addressed so much with the character without saying a fucking word. And it's like
one word.
I mean, it's fucking filmmaking, man. Like I love it. Like it's so well done.
Yeah. So anyway, so you meet Jackie Brown barely. You barely meet her, right? Because the next thing,
she gets popped right away.
Right. The next thing
also,
you get.
Did you realize? Because I didn't until this viewing. I guess I just didn't remember. So Michael Keaton's partner, that's Buck. That's the guy that owns the Pussy Wagon. I was like, wait a minute, I didn't realize that was the same guy.
I figured that out this time too. Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't remember either, right? Yeah.
No. It's like So then we meet Ordell Roby, right?
Oh my God, this intro scene is so good.
And he's sitting there with De Niro talking about and a very sexy Bridget Fonda who checks a lot of boxes for the kid.
Good Lord, yeah.
And he's sitting there watching this VHS tape about guns.
Girls with guns.
And it's like, he's talking about it and Like the whole time this video is happening, it's just bananas.
Literally just girls with like barely any clothes on, and they're like the AK-47, and then they like explain like all the stats on the fucking guns and shit.
It says the most popular gun in American crime. It's said in the brochure. Like he's talking this gun game. So Samuel Jackson's Ordell Robbie. He's
one of my favorite. I'm sorry, one of my favorite fucking quotes ever.
Yeah.
I can't really say the entire quote, but you guys can fill in the word I can't say. But he's like, the killer got a 45. Everybody wants a 45.
They want a 45. It's got a jamming problem. No,
you gotta understand. When I watched this movie for the first time, like I've talked about this before, but like, so we talked about how like comic book nerds were starved for like attention. So like in Kevin Smith movies, when they bring up fucking, Mike Allred is bringing up Chow Yun-Fat, you're like, oh my god. But like Quentin Tarantino talking about John Woo movies, I was like, oh my god. I remember.
And it's like, it is like Samuel Jackson's eating the scenery, and then everyone's probably familiar with, I think it's been clipped a million times or whatever. It's like, but the line was when you absolutely positively got to kill every motherfucker in a room except no substitute. Like it is. So anywho, he gets a phone call.
Also talking about world building.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it happens in this scene or it might happen in like the next scene that Lewis and Ordell and Bridget, or what's her name's not Bridget.
Her name's Melanie.
Melanie. They're all together. And Melanie says, basically like explains that he's not like, he thinks he's top shit, like gun runner, but he's just like, he just got into it. Like you know what I mean? Like
he's an idiot, just repeats what he says on TV.
Right. It might be in this scene. Also, while I'm thinking about it, sorry guys, there's going to be a lot of this because we're not going to have a lot at the end, I don't think. But the idea to cast Robert De Niro in this character role is so brilliant because like it is so against type for De Niro. You got to understand, if you've never seen this movie, De Niro says 5 words in this whole movie. Like he says fucking nothing.
He is an idiot in this movie. Like he
plays this
dumb
ex-con moron that's friends with Ordell, and he's just literally just sitting on the couch smoking weed. He doesn't say anything, and it's like it's De Niro. Like it's one of the most like charismatic actors of his generation.
I don't think I've ever seen. I mean, I guess he played a dum-dum in, was it Mean Streets? But
but that's a different kind of dum-dum.
Different. Like this is
great movie too. Mean Streets.
This is
underrated in my opinion.
Powerfully so. So anyway, he gets a phone call, and Chris Tucker, Beaumont Livingston, has been arrested on a possession of a firearm, and he's calling Ordell to bail him out. So now you get to meet Robert Forster's character, Max Cherry.
Oh my God, Robert Forster. Oh, Robert Forster, brilliant.
There's not a bad performance in this movie.
Not only is there not a bad performance, but there's not, like, every performance is, like, incredibly strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's interesting because you have an ensemble cast like this, and a lot of times I feel like strong performances might overpower other performances, but it is, like, perfectly melded together. Everyone just kind of flows into each other. It all works. The energy just all works. Like, it's perfect. Forster, though, is great. R.I.P. That guy, amazing. I think he passed away last year, if I remember correctly.
Oh, is that true? Forrester, opposite of Jackson in this movie, is just because they can't be more different.
Well, they're perfect though because they're both like they're opposite ends of the spectrum, but they're both wildly charismatic. Like you know what I mean? Like so. Yeah, I believe Robert Forster passed away last year,
2019. So
it's been a few years, but that guy was great.
Shout out to Robert Forster. You would have loved COVID. So. Anyway, so now he goes to go bail out Beaumont Livingston, and he's like, all right, I got the money, and get this guy Beaumont. He only knows his name, whatever. So the reason he's going to bail out Beaumont is because Beaumont's like his buddy, but Beaumont's got a gun charge on him already, and it looks at a violation of his parole, and he had some illegal machine guns that presumably he was carrying for Ordell. They never explicitly say so, but there's a connection there, and Ordell can't have that. So after like this like phenomenal scene of like and watching he does it multiple times in this movie. Watching Samuel L. Jackson's switch get flipped from being like happy-go-lucky, charismatic, like sing-songy, just like not a care in the world to like stone cold killer. Like he does that numerous times in this movie, and it's great. So he goes and visits.
He's legit terrifying in this movie. Like he really is.
Yeah.
And his like, I would say his like cold efficiency. It like you're about to talk about it, but when he gets rid of Chris Tucker, like the whole manner in which he's just very matter of fact, he's just getting his gloves. He's not, there's no panic in him at all. Like he's just like, yep, this is what I got to do. And he just does it.
He talks Chris Tucker into hiding in the trunk of a car with a shotgun. He's got some Koreans down in Koreatown, and he doesn't know how they're going to act.
Also great to watch Chris Tucker get murdered. Sorry, I just can't stand the guy. And now he's probably a diddler, so it's fine. I got no problem.
Even better.
It's even easier to hate him now.
So he takes him out. So now you get the vibe that like, all right, this guy's ruthless, whatever. Now you get introduced to why Jackie Brown is part of this. She works for Crazy Clown Airlines, and she is bringing back money from Punta Cana or wherever the hell, somewhere in Mexico, that Mr. Walker lives at. And that's the guy that's holding all of Ordell Roby's gun money. And once Ordell gets $1 million, he's going to retire because that's all you need in 1996 or whatever. So
now you can't even buy a house
because Chris Tucker welched on her. Now the ATF is on top of her. The ATF shows up. Batman and Buck show up.
Michael Keaton in this movie is so great too because he plays the like trying to be cool cop, and he looks like such a fucking narc every time you see him.
And the second things go wrong, the veneer just flies off.
Yep, absolutely.
I love Michael Keaton so much,
good in this movie.
But like he's like half unhinged in this movie, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, but I love the fact that he's got his fucking like leather jacket, and he's all, you know what I mean, like the sunglasses.
No, he's so
he literally is like the textbook definition of like a fucking narc.
Yeah. He looks like Miranda Rights. So so they squeeze her because she's coming in the country and she's got like 10 G's on her, and she's like, I don't know what that's about. She's trying to deny. And there's also like a bag of cocaine in there. So now she gets into lockups. Like now it's shout out throwback to Pam Grier women in prison movies. And they lock her up for a little bit. And then Ordell goes back to Max Cherry. He's like, yeah, Beaumont's dead. So just take the $1,000 I put on Beaumont, move that $10,000 bond over to Jackie Brown. Here's another $1,000. Make it happen. By the way, Lewis, go sit in the car. Don't touch my levels, which is another thing that gets said all the time.
One, yeah. Also, being a bails bondsman sounds like an awful job. That sounds terrible.
I don't know. It seems like the worst things to do.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't want to have to fucking track people down and bring them back to jail. Like,
I mean, that's what Dog the Bounty Hunter was all about. That was his whole bit. He was a bail bondsman. He was just, and he's and Robert Forster's got Zeus Tiny Lister.
In a very understated role for Zeus Tiny Lister, who I also believe passed away. R.I.P.
The part where he's like, I find him, that's what I do. It's like, how'd you find him? It's like, that's what I do. It's like, God.
Yeah. Also, like, I mean, it's fine. I'm not going to say the whole thing. Again, there's a lot of choice dialogue that I enjoy in this film that I can't say because of my caucasity. But when he sees the picture of him and Tiny Lister together, he's like, you made him take that picture, didn't you?
That picture was your idea, though, wasn't it? Yeah. Like, Ordell Roby trying to get a rise out of Max Cherry every time they interact.
And it doesn't work. Like, he just can't do it. Yeah.
No, Max Cherry's like all business. So anyway, she gets pinched. She gets bailed out. She thinks Ordell's going to kill her because he's going to kill her. But she steals Max. She ends up having a drink with Max Cherry, who's immediately smitten, and who wouldn't be?
I mean, who? Yeah. Jesus.
Right?
You're not a man. Stone. Good Lord.
So, she steals Max's gun and pulls it on Ordell, and Ordell doesn't kill her. And then she's like, listen, I want out of this. And you're kind of over the point of when she was getting interrogated by the ATF, you kind of run down like she had some priors. Now she has to work for Crazy Clown. She makes $16K a year plus benefits. They say, and I quote, not exactly setting the world on fire, are you, Jackie? Like they're just rubbing it in her face. Like she's past her prime. Like, does she want to go to prison? Like they're doing all the squeeze stuff. So Jackie, this movie is so goddamn smart. Jackie comes up with this plan to tell Ordell, she's like, all right, I'm going to pit the ATF. I'm going to head fake the ATF and get your money in, but I want to cut. And if I do time, I want extra. Right. And then she tells the ATF, all right, I'm going to work with you to betray Ordell, and here's what's going down. And then she tells Max, she's like, I'm going to double cross both of them.
Yeah, she's like literally doing like a triple. She's doing like a triple cross.
Right. So the whole movie, like the movie evolves, right?
And she kind of plays it. It's I think like I mean we'll get to it, but in a weird in a way she plays Max a little bit. Like I feel like there is some ambiguousness to like her feelings towards Max at the end. But
well, no, I think the end she kind of like, and I think she was true. She's kind of like, I never lied to you.
Right. No, I get that. Yeah.
And he was like,
I think there's even a like. But I think there's a little winkiness when she says, you know what I mean? Like I don't.
Yeah, but I think he also gets back to her. It's like, listen, I'm a grown man. I made my own choices. If I wanted to be played by you, I got played by you. That's fine by me. It's like the most fun I've had in a month. So anyway, so the plot evolves, right? And everybody's trying to figure out. Jackie's going to go. She's going to do a dry run with some marked bills, and then we're going to, this, that, and there. It all goes off. The end is real tense, even though I know how it works out.
Yeah, the end is very, like the whole movie is very, like I think you texted this early or last week, but like the movie is very long, but it does not feel long.
It's the fastest 2 hours and 35 minutes I can think of.
Yeah, this
movie
is a very Brit 2:30. Like this thing is, and it's weird, right? Because I feel like a lot of times, when we talk about movie length. That's a sick shirt, Van. Tell Van I like his shirt.
I will.
But when we talk about movie length, I feel like one of our biggest complaints with movies that are too long are like, well, you could cut 20 minutes here, you could cut 15 minutes here. There isn't a minute of film that I would take out of this movie. I think this is close to perfect, and it's like it's paced. The pacing is so meticulous, like it's so well constructed. That like again, everything just flows. It never drags. There's no drag in this movie whatsoever. At least to me.
Nope. So anyway, they do the dry run with the $10,000. It all goes through. They work out some logistical stuff because Ordell's like super fucking sketch about everything. Meanwhile, Bridget Fonda's character Melanie is trying to seduce Lewis, Robert De Niro, into betraying Ordell. And then Lewis goes right to Ordell and goes, this lady's trying to rip you off. And he's like, yeah, I know. He's like, and there's one of my favorite lines in the movie, maybe one of my favorite lines of all movies of all time. And I'm going to screw it up because I'm going to paraphrase. It's like, I don't trust Melanie, but he says, I don't trust her, but I know her. It's like, I don't trust Melanie, right? But I trust that Melanie is going to be Melanie. And
right. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah. It's like he doesn't trust her, but he knows exactly who she is.
He knows exactly what she's going to do. Right. Yeah. So Jackie goes like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring in $500,000. We're going to bring in the whole fucking caboodle, and we're going to get him. And then then she pivots right at the end. So she tells Ordell, all right, I'm going to bring in the $500,000. We're going to hand fake these bags off, and then whatever happens. Then she tells the ATF, all right, they changed it to only 50,000. So now it becomes the whole thing from Jurassic Park. Like they're only going to look for what they expect to see. They're not going to look for more. So she gets through with $500K. She stacks a bag. She buys a dress. The ending, I'm not going to do the ending justice, but they get away with it. And like, it all goes without a hitch. It becomes like the end of Logan Lucky. Like it goes without a hitch, and everyone stops. Everyone thinks all the loose ends are tied up. So no one keeps looking. Ordell gets killed at the very end by Max Cherry, or no, not by Max Cherry, by the ATF. So like,
She does like an amazing, like, I think the movie does a pretty amazing job where, like, they lead you to think that it's going to be a showdown between Jackie and Ordell, but it's not, because, Max is there and the ATF is there, and she yells, because there's even, like, the build up to it is her, like, trying to figure out the quickest way to, like, pull the gun.
Pistol.
And then that's all a misdirect, because when he actually shows up, she yells he's got a gun, and then Michael Keaton shoots him.
Which I think Ray, he's got a gun. And then brilliant. Ray shows up, but Michael Keaton comes up and blasts him. Now, he can't be around to say, where's the rest of my money? No one else, the $500K.
We totally blew past Melanie getting shot. One of the best scenes in the whole movie.
I think that might be Sean's favorite part, like, because she's just yapping
ridiculous
at Lewis as he's trying to walk through the parking lot with his bag with $50,000.
Also, Lewis through the entire scene is like sweating. He looks like, it's funny because like they describe Lewis as like this career criminal, so you think he'd be like Ordell and be like kind of cool and calculated, but no, he's like super conspicuous, sweating the whole time, and then Melanie is just antagonizing him, and he's just freaking out. And he ends up shooting her twice.
Yeah. and he blows her away because she's annoying him. And then, he's like, there's a scene where it's like, you shot her? It's like, yeah. She dead? I think so. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think so.
Where'd you shoot
One's in the
her?
chest and one in the stomach.
Yeah. No, I think doesn't he say, he says pretty much.
Pretty much.
Kill her, pretty much.
Pretty much.
And then you have that scene where, like, Ordell pulls over and just shoots Lewis, like with kind of like no fanfare. He's like, "What happened to you, man?"
Yeah. Like, it's so yeah. At the end, like Ordell's world is collapsing around him.
Oh yeah.
Then he's got like his money's not here. The cops are on him. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on. So then he goes to find Jack. Winston finds Ordell, tells him that Max Cherry's looking for him to pay out his bond or whatever. They go back to the bail bonds place. Jackie's there. She wants to talk. The shootout happens, and then the movie ends with her being up like $450K, and she's going to go to Spain. And she was like, Max, you want to come? And he's like, no, I'm good. Like, I don't know if that's because he doesn't trust her all the way, or because he doesn't want to get his heart broken.
Or you can read it,
or like
either way,
or that it's a pity invite, and he's not going to fall for the bait. Like,
yeah,
she did it as a courtesy, and he doesn't need to accept it. So, but there's this really quiet look he gives her, like after he hangs up the phone, like right at the end of the movie, where he's kind of regretful, kind of longing, kind of. And the movie ends, and it's brilliant. And actually, I looked up real quick. Rum Punch is a lot more like this than I thought. It does have Jackie in it, but Jackie Burke, not Jackie Brown. But I got to reread it because I remember it being way more about Lewis than I remember. Anywho,
well, I mean, it would kind of have to be because Lewis is kind of barely in the movie. You know what I mean? Like he's there, but he's not. He's not a central character.
Yeah. But it's this movie's so.
It's fantastic. Again, this is one of this wouldn't have passed the muster old TJ rules of. It's too good because it's too good. It's fucking fantastic.
But like it's set in modern time. It's set like 97, like when it takes place.
Yeah,
but the whole vibe is just 70s exploitation.
Yeah,
like it is. Oh, and I forgot about this. I forgot that Sid Haig is the judge that sentences her to her like her who basically indicts her. Yeah. And like for those of you,
fun cameo.
Sid Haig and Pam Grier did several films together.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Back in the day.
But like, I don't know, man. This movie's like, I love everything about it. I love the aesthetic. I love the soundtrack. I love the performances. It's a smart heist movie that you can't poke holes in. Like, it's actually like a plan that makes sense and works.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
I agree.
Like Michael Keaton's character is so good in it, and he's like half unhinged the whole time. Like I'm saying, like it's just, I don't know, man. And Pam Grier's amazing. She gives like some like awesome, like full throated like performances. It's just so good. It's so good. And Sam Jackson's, He didn't win an Academy Award for this. I don't even think he was nominated.
But he probably should have.
The fact that he wasn't nominated for an Academy Award for this is a crime.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think everybody, there should have been plenty of Oscars to go around with this movie because, like, where is the weak point in this film? The script is amazing, the direction's amazing, soundtrack is amazing, all the acting is amazing. Like, there's nothing, like, what the hell, look up the Oscars that year. What the hell won that year? I guarantee they were all worse than Jackie Brown.
No, like it was, like, he got, Best Actor, he got nominated for a Golden Globe. And Pam Grier got, and they said motion picture musical or comedy.
It's like comedy,
like,
huh?
I guess, but like, and the Academy Awards that year gave a Best Supporting Actor nod to Robert Forster, excuse me.
Yeah.
How do you not get?
I'm looking. Well, you know what? It was a strong year because Frances McDormand got Best Actress for Fargo. That's tough. That's tough.
That was the same year?
That's the same year, 97. So Jeffrey Rush got Best Actor for Shine. I don't like that movie at all. Best Supporting Actor, Julianne Binoche in The English Patient, which sucks. That's a movie that no one talks about anymore. Cuba Gooding Jr. got Best Supporting Actor for Jerry Maguire.
Oh no, you're a whole year off. You're a year off.
I thought you said it was 97.
Yeah, the 97 ones. Here's what happened. Here's who he went up against. Robert Forster went against.
I'm looking at 97.
Well, Robin Williams won Best Supporting for Good Will Hunting that year.
Maybe I'm in 96 then. I don't know. Yeah. It says 97 Oscars.
They were the 1997. So the 98 Oscars would be for the 97 movies.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So
yeah, you're right. You're right.
So like this year, so here's all the movies. This is
This is infuriating. Best Actress Helen Hunt, as good as it gets. Jack Nicholson, Best Actor, as good as it gets. Come the fuck on, dude. Kim Basinger for L.A. Confidential.
Well, that's a good. I mean,
she wasn't even that good in that movie. We watched that. You're telling me that, like, I don't know. Like, I guess you put Pam Grier in the Best Supporting Actress. Like, she was, whatever.
I mean, Pam
Robin Williams, Good Will Hunting, like, Titanic got the fucking Best Director that year. Ugh. I'm sorry, that movie sucks. I don't care what anybody says. That movie's trash. Titanic got Best Picture. Like, ugh.
Titanic got Best Picture. Yeah, then it was
garbage year. What a fucking garbage ass year. L.A. Confidential got Best Adapted Screenplay. That's a pretty good one. I'm shocked that did Jackie Brown even get nominated that year? It should have, but
Jackie Brown didn't get anything.
That's disgusting.
I think the only nod it got was
Academy, dude.
It was supporting actor for Robert Forster, but like, and Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting, tremendous performance. I'm not mad at that.
He's good in that movie. I don't hate that movie. I don't like a lot of the other movies that were listed, but I don't hate that movie.
But Best Leading Actor, like Dustin, I never seen Wag the Dog with Dustin Hoffman, but like, and I've never seen Ulee's Gold with Peter Fonda.
Yeah, no.
But I can't fathom that Samuel L. Jackson's performance was worse than those.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize how well As Good as It Gets did in the fucking Academy.
That is a boomer classic. And I don't know if you ever sat down and watched that movie.
No.
Sucks. It is like literally like the most boomer ass movie you could ever watch. And it is boring as shit. All right, well anyway. Let's give scores. I'm tired of talking about the Oscars. It just makes me mad because they're just so fucking clueless. I already know. I mean,
it's gonna be like without, like, it's a 10. Like, I can't, like.
Yeah, it's a 10. It's a 10.
Like, I can't.
It's perfect. The movie's fucking perfect.
I love everything about it. Like, and I'd watch it again right now. I might. Like, yeah,
it's really good, and it's very watchable for its length. It's incredibly watchable. Like I said, you can. And this is that weird confluence of, like, it's got a lot of artistic merit, but it's also like anyone could sit down and enjoy this. This is not a You know what I mean? This is not a like cinema movie. You know what I mean?
No.
Like this is kind of a happy medium for everyone. Like I can't see not liking this movie. I couldn't even imagine.
It's super approachable. Like it's well written. It moves in excellent pace. It's well acted. It's well shot. Like it is exactly what you want in this, like, and it's a great crime movie. It's a great heist movie. It's got, if you don't know how it's going to turn out, it's tense as hell.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, you just got Sam Jackson and Kangles the whole time, just Sam Jacksoning it up. Like it's,
yeah, he's so good in the movie, dude. It's not even fair. The guy's amazing.
Like, I don't fucking get how it was the Academy just shit on Tarantino until.
I mean, he's one of those guys that, you know, I mean, he's won a few, but like, I mean, they're always, you know, they're not.
Pulp Fiction came out before this and it got some love.
It did well. Yeah, again, but like generally the Academy is known for being like tone deaf, and, you know, they praise movies like As Good as It Gets, movies that no one like, even at the time, it's like no one's going to talk about this movie in 10 years. Like nobody gives a shit about this fucking movie. That's what they do. So anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Jackie Earle Haley Nightmare on Elm Street remake for next week, if that's okay with you.
Doesn't bother me at all.
All right, I'm gonna pick that.
I mean, it might bother me because I don't remember liking it.
It's terrible. I remember it's real bad, but I'm interested in diving back into it because I feel like it's been brought up on the show enough, and we've done a bunch of Nightmare movies, so. Yeah. It might be fun. Maybe it'll be good. Who knows?
I just want to reflect on like how good a month Capril was.
It was very good. Yeah.
Like I've got 3 10s and a 9 in this month. Like Thief, Hell or High Water, and Jackie Brown all coming in at 10s, and I talked myself into a 9 for 18. Like we are. This is a hell of a S tier month for us.
Hell yeah, love it. It's like Labor Gaze all over again.
Man, what a great month that was.
Labor Gaze was amazing.
Absolute pleasure to work through that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a show. Maybe next week we'll have a full crew. We'll see.
Maybe. We'll see. Maybe this will just be TJ next week.
TJ show, but we'll see.
We'll just keep dividing in half until we're down to nothing.
Yeah, we're like mitochondria. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
See you in hell, dick.
Does mitochondria split? They don't actually split, do they?
I'll tell you about mitosis later.